Welcome to Spam Filter for Your Brain, bite-sized ponderings on how our thoughts influence our behaviour and our lives, and because we're all connected, how our thoughts impact the world. I'm here to help people reconnect with their bodies and declutter their brains. And I don't believe that we should just magically know how our emotions and our thoughts impact our lives if no one ever teaches us. So let's learn this stuff together. I want to give you 3 very important steps how you can make a decision quickly, easily, without regret, and not spend 3 days bouncing between different ideas and then spend another 6 months wondering whether it was the right thing to do or not. This is a very simple process to explain and quite a difficult one to live out. So come with me on the journey. Step 1, you'll probably think is the most ridiculous thing that I'm ever going to say, but stop thinking that there's a right answer, because there isn't a right answer. There is the decision that you make, and then there's things that didn't happen. The thing that you don't decide never actualizes. It doesn't exist. It's not like there is a right answer and everything is rosy, and then there is a wrong answer and you're going to have a terrible time from here. You're at a junction, a fork in the road, you're going to step in one direction, and either way that you step is going to be very lively. It's going to include a whole load of things: joy, fun, boredom, exhaustion, frustration, silliness, playfulness, rest. All of the things are probably down both avenues. But the thing that makes one decision feel like it is the wrong decision is we tell ourselves that if we make a bad choice, we're going to be really mean to ourselves about it. We're going to tell ourselves that we've done something wrong and that we are going to be filled with regret. Now, we can navigate around that by committing to the fact that we are not going to be mean to ourselves, no matter what happens. And the way to do this is step 2. Step 2 is to stop looking at the past or the option that didn't happen or the other thing that's there with these rose-tinted glasses, that would have all been great, and that this option was clearly something which you didn't have all of the information to hand about. And if you knew what you knew now, maybe you might have made a different choice. You didn't know the things. That's why you made the choice that you did. What we're going to do is stop retro-glossing over the idea that we had different information to hand in order to be able to make the decision. We know what we know, we can make a choice, and we can stop being mean to ourselves about the idea that some other version of reality would have felt different to this one. There's a big clue in the sentence that I just said there that I'm going to circle back to. But first, I'd like to go to point 3. And this is to decide that this is the decision that has been made. Not to keep ruminating about a fantasy storyline that unfolded from you having stepped in a different direction, from you having chosen a different thing. We're not looking at existences that never happened. What we want to be doing is keep getting into a position where we're with what we chose right now and we're doing the best for ourselves in this moment. And all of these threads can be pulled back to one single point. And this is the most important thing that I think you need to know about making a decision. The reason that you think that there is a right decision and a wrong decision is because you believe that one of these decisions is going to lead you to a place where you feel better than the other. Now, your emotions and the way that you feel about stuff doesn't come from your circumstances, it comes from your thoughts about it. So you can decide ahead of time that you're going to have your back no matter what decision that you make, that you're not going to be horrible to yourself about the outcomes and the fallouts, that you're just going to follow that path through and be true to your values, your ethics, and be kind to yourself no matter what happens and no matter what unfolds because of that decision. It is because we are worried about the way that we're going to feel, the way that we're going to speak to ourselves, that we think that one decision is going to be better than the other. But the way that we speak to ourselves is not bound by external circumstances, and we can decide that for ourselves, and you can decide that ahead of time. What we're often worried about is the emotions that come up with the way that we talk to ourselves. We're scared of feeling something, so we try and manipulate all of these circumstances so we get to avoid that feeling. But if you build a solid skill set where you are able to experience a range of different emotions, you get less scared of feeling particular things. And therefore, you start building the tolerance to be able to know that whatever comes at you in life, you're not going to be someone who bullies yourself. You're not going to fall into that old pattern of self-criticism. You're going to treat yourself with respect, compassion, kindness, same kind of way that you'd speak to a mate. If you know that you're going to do that no matter what happens, suddenly the path becomes clear. There is no wrong answer because you're not going to be an arsehole to yourself, whichever way you step. This is the way to make decisions easily, quickly, and without regret. I hope this has been useful for you this week, and I will speak to you next week. If you've been enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast, you will love Self-Care School. Self-Care School is longer versions of this, more in-depth and more personalised. We have a whole hub of courses from body image to boundaries, perfectionism, time management, and a whole range of other topics. You name it, there's probably a course on it. But most importantly, we also have a weekly group coaching call where you get to apply this stuff to your everyday life and get support to try and untangle your own story from some of the emotions that you might not be enjoying in your life. If you would like to learn how to apply this work to your specific situation and to be building a life of your dreams, I would love to see you inside. Do pop over to selfcareschool.co.uk.